Hello and welcome to the weekly training update. We're doing the dual streaming this week from Zoom to Facebook, and it's doing that funny thing where there's that slight delay. So welcome on if you're watching live. Thanks for joining us. This is the first weekly training update of the new year. We held off last week because one of the really great trainings we had lined up for last week, we had to push back to this week because of some timing with the new trainer. And so we're really excited about that training. We're gonna be rolling out though. We're talking about it right now. We're talking about all the awesome things we've got coming up for this year. So one of the big things, if you've been watching along and just checking out what we've been up to, is we're kind of doing a whole kind of reformat on how we're thinking about the trainings, and thinking about a calendar now where the kind of first three Tuesdays of the month will be kind of these core train, some of the core things that we're developing from the digital plan, some of the essential templates. We're going to be doing in the first lot of the month is talking about project planning templates. And so there's a great, the project planning blueprint that we've put out, and now we're this coming month or in February actually talking about video and then fundraising in March. And so each time we kick off the month, we'll have that kind of as the anchor. Roll out some other new templates and training. So we have a great new one this week we're rolling out. Then we'll also be bringing a guest trainer at the very least every Thursday. So we're bringing one guest slot there. I think we have some other great guests popping in and stacking up some Tuesdays and Thursdays, which are our core webinar days. Then we're going to be talking about tools and strategies. So I'm really excited about that. We're going to have one of those coming up for you this week. I want to say tomorrow, today. It's neither of those things. It's on Thursday. The whole idea here is to present new tools to the community, but actually talk with the tool makers and really talk through some of the strategies as to how to implement them. So one of the struggles I had when I've been working directly with a variety of organizations is there are all of these awesome tools out there, but if you don't have a strategy to onboard and consistently maintain a tool, it doesn't actually provide all the value that it possibly could, and you can't do all of the things that you really want to do with it. So we're going to be talking with the actual tool makers about that and figure out how we kind of help you think about implementing new tools in your strategy and how we can kind of think about that together. Social media, kind of an anchor spot there. Beth Becker from Becker Digital Strategies will keep joining us for a few of those. We'll also have some other guest trainers, and we'll also be pulling in some of the classic strategies that we've pulled together here from the Digital Plan as well. And we've got office hours coming up every Tuesday at the end of the month. And so that was the thing just some folks had asked for. We're going to try that out for at least a couple of months, see how that goes. As a chance for you to drop in. At the very least, it'll be me. There might be some other strategists jumping in with us there. Just you can bring any project that you're working on and chat about it, and possibly chat about it with other folks in the community and see how they've approached similar projects as well. And then we've got the digital leadership coming up at the end of every month. So this is another thing folks had asked for. Some folks had reached out who are kind of maybe contractors or more in a senior digital place, or folks who run small agencies who have said, I've got a bunch of the basics down, but there are actually some of those kind of higher level things, team management, budget planning, some things, some of that higher tier stuff that would be really helpful. So we're going to start producing at least once a month. These things are really just kind of tailored towards folks in a leadership role. Obviously, anyone can join. It can help you on your path to becoming a leader in this space. And so have those happening there. We'll talk about budgets. All of those will talk about budgets, staffing, recruiting, and kind of high level kind of management and kind of philosophies for that as well. So what we got coming up this week, tomorrow we've got wireframing your website with Google. So I'm really excited about this one. This is actually a strategy I put together when I was working on some web development and a couple of projects. So we're going to talk about some Google-based templates using Google Slides, which can allow you to wireframe or mock up web pages, but also get feedback and do it in a more rich way, and also allow you to scale it to other folks in the organization and allow them to kind of engage in more interesting ways. And so we're thinking about this. Folks who are in leadership, digital directors, communications directors, is going to be a super helpful thing to have in your toolbox. It'll allow you to quickly prototype a website, think through, whether it's just adding a new page or it's adding a little microsite or something. That's where I first used this. I was building out a microsite at an organization I was at. We didn't need to go to the designer. I'm not a designer. It took me forever, actually do design mockups. And so I was like, well, how can we kind of quickly represent where buttons would be, where different things would be? And then with a couple of organizations I've worked with, folks have taken this to amazing places, and we'll talk through that, where we can actually pull in elements from other websites, make a Frankenstein as your starting point by using the slides and let people comment on it, which is super awesome. So any staff working on websites, whether it's this one-page simple stuff or it's something more complicated, I think you're going to find some real value in this as well. And then, activists, a lot of us, working in the volunteer space, you end up building some web pages, right? You put together some things. And so there's also a good chance for you to kind of check out how that could possibly be done, how you could think about that. And then Thursday, we've got this great back-to-back, and the 17th at 3 Eastern, 12 Pacific, we're going to do our tools and strategy. So this one we share progress, good friends who built this amazing tool. So you get an understanding of share progress and how it strategically fits into your set of tools. What share progress does is allows you to optimize share language after a petition or after a couple of different actions that you could set up. And a lot of organizations have seen this really help them gain a lot of momentum in after action sharing and engagement and really good stuff there. And so I think it's a really cool tool to check out. And if you're doing any sort of list growth, especially doing paid list growth, I think this is a really thoughtful thing to add into your mix. If you're already paying for advertising, this actually helps you better engage your own list to build your list, which is really cool. So think about this particular tool set, wherever you're falling in the leadership spectrum, this is a good one to understand how this tool could possibly fit into your organization. Definitely if you're doing, email staff or engagement, anyone working in the email list sort of stuff, and you're thinking about growth, you should definitely know about this tool. You may decide it's not right for your organization, but checking it out will give you a good chance to figure out like, oh, is this right for us? And when we're talking about the strategy, like how do you actually onboard these sort of things? And, so I'm digging into that a little bit. And then, activists, to be honest, this tool set may be out of the price range of a really small organization if you're just already really bootstrapping stuff together. But it can allow you to see what are the things these bigger organizations are doing, right? And so it helps you kind of visualize a roadmap if your organization grows, things that you could do. And then we're doing the back-to-back on Thursday, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific time, Humans of New York style storytelling. Really excited about this one. Good friend and one of the contributors to the book, Celine Zimet, is going to be jumping in with us to do this training. So what's really cool about this is a storytelling strategy that he actually implemented on Hillary Clinton campaign back in 2016. And he's actually worked with some other folks implementing it. And it's a great strategy and conversations he's been putting out there for folks. And so what we're going to be talking about, so if you know the Humans of New York blog, it's actually a style, right? It is a replicatable style that you could put together, right? And so we're going to be talking through storytelling planning and a little worksheet for how to interview and do some planning with folks after that. And, thinking about this, digital communications director, this is a style of storytelling that literally every organization should consider. It's a really kind of straightforward and templatable. Man, those multi-syllabic words just not really firing for me. So you can template this and they can really help you produce a lot of really great and engaging content, right? Like Humans of New York, part of its success is its consistency and simplicity, right? So we're gonna dig into that. So anyone doing content, social media managers, blogs, you're gonna find the strategy and worksheets really valuable. And then anyone doing blogging or writing for an organization, this is one of those ones that scales to any organization of any size, right? So if you're a really small group on a really small budget, and the budget is zero, it's you all bootstrapping it, you can still produce great content without a budget, right? It takes time and capacity, but I think this is a great one for folks to kind of jump in to think about as well. So that's what we got coming up this week. 3 big trainings, a couple of other quick things I'm going to talk about. Let's maybe just get back to the top slide. Boom, boom. Just different. Let's throw this in the background. And so what we want to be talking about here is we've sped up the website for you. So we noticed in December, things were dragging. We were kind of, November, we had built out stuff. We had built out the whole extra section for the debrief. And there's some interesting bugs that developed, part of the beauty of web development. And I'd love to just talk with folks about this. And we'll actually be debriefing some of this a little bit more with folks and kind of sharing some of the best practices that we've learned as well. So you can take it and implement it as well. Is thinking about site speed and how critical that is. Last 2 or 3 weeks, we've been under the hood tooling some stuff around. We've sped up a whole bunch of the pages. So if you're in some of the trainings and some of the self-paced courses that are rolling out and you've noticed being a little slow the last couple of weeks, we've tuned that up. And so we're just making the experience better for you. And we've got some really exciting things kind of rolling out. We've got some new resource videos that'll be public and free. Those will be coming out kind of the end week, and then rolling out some other interesting things on the website to allow you to favorite and kind of create your own little resource library from the resources and videos that already exist. So you can kind of pull stuff into your own profile. So got some really cool stuff we're working on under the hood there. And as always, just shoot us an email, leave us a message here, there, anywhere of what would be really helpful for you. So with all that, thank you So much for following along, and welcome to this new year. I'm super excited to see all the new work that folks are going to be working on this year.